This episode, we talk about turning your textbooks into money, having the talk, and buying to impress.
This is the Living Young and Free Show, giving the 25 and under crowd tips, tricks, and hacks to get the most out of your money.
Hi, I'm Cheryl, and welcome to episode 41. First up, for her inaugural segment on our show, Janelle's going to share how you can turn your old textbooks into money.
Are you tired of all those textbooks you have lying around that your school won't buy back? Does the clutter drive you crazy? Do you want to get rid of the books while still getting a fair deal on the sellback price? You're in luck! 25 Ways to Get Cash for Your Books is the revolutionary new book written to give you the hottest tips on getting the most cash back for your textbooks. I was tired of losing money and keeping my textbooks around when I didn't need them anymore. Luckily, 25 Ways to Get Cash for Your Books helped me sell them back and get rid of the clutter and get cash in my pocket. I'm so impressed with 25 Ways to Get Cash for Your Books that I'm willing to share 5 tips with you from the book. They work so well that you can't help but buy the book to get the rest of the tips. Don't sell back to the university bookstore. You won't get a good deal there. My freshman year, I spent $500 on books, and when I sold them back to the bookstore, I only got $45. Don't do it. Why buy new books when used books are just as good? Used books are cheaper, and then that way when you sell them, you'll earn back a larger percentage of your original purchase. Sell your books on eBay. Even if the edition that you have is outdated at your university, other universities throughout the country may still be using your edition. You can get more money back that way. Learn when to sell your books back. Peak times are just before the start of each semester. Books are in high demand then, so you'll get a higher price. Create a network with friends or people in your major. Selling them your books at prices cheaper than the bookstore helps save them money and also earns you a higher percentage back on your purchase. You can get all of this for the low price of $14.99 plus shipping and handling. A bonus chapter is included called How to Sell This Book Back for free. Call now. Okay, so the book isn't real. It's actually the book from the Kittens Inspired by Kittens YouTube video. But the tips are real and you can find them at lifeinmyfinances.com. For Young and Free Michigan, I'm Janelle O'Hara. Back to you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Janelle. You know, I keep meaning to sell my textbooks, but then I get distracted by things like kitten videos. I love kitten videos. Next up, for his first segment on our show, Lee teaches how you can have the financial version of The Talk with your significant other.
Thanks, Cheryl. Communication is the key to any good relationship. Whether you're just starting out or you've been married for 50 years, you have to talk about everything. And money is no exception to this all-important ingredient to a successful relationship. Just ask my fiance.
Hi, I'm Julie. I'm Lee's fiance. We've been engaged since February and we are getting married in September.
Julie and I have learned this lesson the easy and the hard way, full circle. We've actually just recently had a really great conversation about all of our finances and recently had to make some very big decisions.
Lee and I have talked about a lot of things regarding finances, including talking about our budget for the first year, setting long-term goals, and we've already started the process of buying our first home.
This isn't an easy talk to have, and everyone's reluctant to dive into somebody else's finances. But once you get it going, it's a lot easier the second, third, and fourth time that you need to bring up money. I recently read an article on thesimpledollar.com entitled The Talk, and it talks a lot about how you and your spouse or significant other can sit down and discuss money like adults. Now, there are 10 major tips to this article, but we're going to specify just a few of them and talk a little bit about how we utilize them. One great tip when having this talk is make sure that you admit your mistakes. For me, I had to admit that I spend a little bit too much money on movies, eating out, and things like that.
The second thing to think about is making sure that you're being fair with your spouse or significant other. If you have a disagreement about what you are spending money on, make sure that you don't blow up at them. Ask them reasonable questions like, why are you spending this money? Is it more important than paying off, say, a credit card?
That brings us to another great point. Make sure that you're looking at the numbers and not judging the other person. If you can show them through numbers that they're spending too much money, then you don't have to blame them for spending too much money. Make sure that all the decisions are made from this discussion are practical and not personal.
Another important key factor that you have to work on is creating goals. Lee and I sat down and we created a list of short-term goals and then a list of long-term goals. Some of our short-term goals include finding a good interest rate for our loan for our home. One of our long-term goals is being debt-free as soon as possible.
And a great thing to remember to do is always do something romantic after you talk about money. Talking about money is stressful, it's not fun, and it can kind of bring up some tension, so it's always good to relieve that with just some quality time. So remember, whenever you need to talk to your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend about money, remember these 5 key steps. You have to admit your mistakes, be fair, look at the numbers without judging, set your goals, and do something romantic afterwards. This can be a really successful time in your relationship. It doesn't have to be the headache that everyone expects it to be. And we are living proof. Back to you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Lee. It is really important to admit your mistakes. This one time, I thought it was a really good idea to sign up for a Bacon of the Month club. I actually think it's still a good idea, but my husband didn't agree. Last up, we have Alex, who's going to share some tips on how you can improve your spending habits.
Thanks, Cheryl. Alex Oliver here with Young and Free Tennessee. Well, today I'm talking about an issue that faces many Americans, which is trying to impress other people. Stop worrying about it, you guys. Not only will we save money, but we'll see improved relationships when we stop trying to impress other people. I love the way that Trent at thesimpledollar.com put it. He said they'll either like me for me or they won't. No amount of shiny will change that. Here are 6 ways to stop trying to impress other people according to thesimpledollar.com. Take the lead. Suggest activities that don't revolve around money and showing off. Step 2, try new activities. Are you too cool for frisbee golf? I think not. It's a great activity and it's really, really cheap. Step 3, guide the conversation. If you catch your friends talking about other people's attire or what they're wearing based on their brand names, try to change the subject and talk about passions and things that are deeper than the surface materials. Step 4, and I love this one, use your compliments wisely. Instead of complimenting on a really shiny new item or a new piece of clothing, instead compliment on a job well done. Step 5, share personal growth-oriented thoughts. Stop talking about pop culture and all the superfluous things in life, and instead change the subject or the topic to talking about big, passionate things that each of you and your friends share, and see how you can encourage each other. Last but not least is step 6, explore new relationships. If the group of friends you're surrounding yourself with are still too impressed by material gains, and you find yourself falling in that same trap, try to call up somebody that you found interesting in the past, and put a lot of passion into exploring that relationship. By putting material possessions aside, you'll likely develop a deeper, more meaningful relationship that could last a lifetime. Simply put, I want to encourage each and every one of you to move your time, effort, and energies away from trying to impress other people with financial gains, and instead putting time where the real value is, which is in deeper, more long-lasting relationships. As always, Alex Oliver signing out with Young and Free Tennessee. Back to you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Alex. It's hard to not be drawn in by the shiny, like this toaster I bought. Not only is it shiny, but it has a bagel function. Bagel! And that's our show. If you have any feedback or ideas for upcoming episodes, feel free to comment below or email me at livingyoungandfree@gmail.com. Join us next time for more great tips, tricks, and hacks on how to make the most of your money.
Young and Free is a credit union movement that gives young people a voice, a head start, and useful information.